Remnant 2 is a challenging game, and with that, you want to make sure you have an arsenal of weapons that's up to the task. In this video, we talk about 6 easy-to-get weapons that'll help turn the tide of battle in your favor. All of these are simple to get and only require a little bit of time and commitment in order to unlock them. So let's get this list started off with a bang with the Star Shot. To start your search for the Star Shot, what you want to do is head out to Timeless Horizon, Aeon Vault, or Phantom Wasteland. Either one of those will have a chance at getting this structure on your map. It's a very unique structure, and it has lifts that take you all the way down to the basement. So what you want to do is hop on these lifts and take them all the way down to the very bottom. What we're going to be doing is taking this robot and powering it up, so that way we can use it to extract loot that's scattered all over the wasteland. So continue working your way down, and you want to continue moving all the way around until you can get to the dark conduit. So once you're inside the dark conduit, what you want to do is start making your way through the dungeon until you reach this point here. At this point, there's going to be a power station with a battery pack that's hanging out. You need to push that battery pack back in, and then once you do, you'll restore power to that giant robot that we saw previously outside. So I'll show you guys exactly what we're looking for here. Now this place is full of super annoying little like larva enemies. They're going to be all over the place, hanging from the ceiling, scurrying around all over. So just be aware that these things are going to be literally everywhere. So continue working through the dungeon, loop away all the way around until you reach this point here. What you're looking for is this looking thing. Now mine is already solved, but this little section here is missing, and there's a battery pack that's ajar. You want to push that battery pack in to restore power, and everything will start lighting up. So once everything is lit up, we need to head back outside and take a look at that robot again. Once you're back outside, this console that was previously turned off will now be turned on. You can interact with it, and once you do, this giant robot will launch into the sky and kick off the second part of our search. The second part of the search is all about finding these coffins that are scattered around the Timeless Horizon or the overworld. Now, they're these big glowing orange coffins. They're very hard to miss, but they're scattered all over the place. You need to find 5 of them. Each time you find one, you want to come back to this area, and there'll be a new coffin for you to look at. And each one will have something in it. So there's rings, there's amulets, and eventually the last one you find will have the Star Shot pistol. So good luck finding all of these guys. It did take me a little while. Remember to look in remote locations, up high, down low, and just keep your eye out for anything that's orange and glowing. And because these locations are randomized, I'm not able to provide you guys a map, so it truly is looking for a needle in a haystack. Hope you guys can find it because the secondary is definitely worth it. Next is the Rupture Cannon. This is a secondary handgun that shoots out a shotgun-like spread, does pretty strong damage up close, but has some pretty good range as well. This one does not come with a mod slotted in, so it is pretty flexible and you can put whatever you want in there. Right now I have corrosive rounds, so you can see you can quickly stack up the corrosive damage and apply that dot. So this one's really easy to get. Let's talk about how to get it. The first thing you want to do is fire up Nerude in adventure mode, and you want to look for Vault of the Formless. Once inside the vault, you want to continue progressing until you reach the first checkpoint, at which time you'll have a boss door. You're not actually going to fight a boss, it's more like a scenario. You want to go through there, and that's where we'll actually be able to start finding this item. So progress through the dungeon until you reach that first checkpoint, and then pass through the boss door. So once you reach this room with these large circular spinning cylinders, you're in the right spot. Here's a look at my map. Now each tile set and layout is a little bit different, but for now, here's that first checkpoint I referenced, and here is that large spinning room. What we need to do is make our way to the second spinning column down there. So make your way through these spinning columns and work your way downstairs. Once you're downstairs, make your way across this bridge And again, we want to reach this here. This will most likely be closed off. You need to wait for it to rotate. Do not run all the way through. Instead, stop next to these two panels and just wait until the tower rotates again. And the waiting process might take a little while. It's a few minutes between each rotation, so please be patient. Once the tower rotates, a new pathway will be opened up to you. At this point, you want to go through the hallway, take a left, and right here will be a key. Continue progressing through the dungeon until you reach a large locked cargo door. At this point, a scenario will kick off where you'll have to hold your ground. Once you do so and you've wiped out all of the enemies, the door will open up and you'll be able to see the Rupture Cannon on the other side of the glass. Take a right at the glass and there'll be a locked single door. Use that new key that you found to unlock the door, progress all the way around on the ramps, and then in the crashed pod here will be the Rupture Cannon. In order to get the Hellfire sidearm, it's actually a very, very simple process. So the first thing you want to do is get to the Ashen Wasteland, which is on Root Earth, which is the last world. From here, you want to leave the World Stone and head down this root bridge. The goal here is we want to get down onto the ground. So you either have two options: jump over the edge and go quickly, or you can take the normal path and go through this large fallen log here. After exiting the fallen log, go ahead and hug this rubble all the way around to the right. You can see my turret here. What you want to do is you want to loop around and then climb up this root. Continue climbing up this root and looping around to the right. And eventually you'll have this opening where you can drop off onto this semi truck. From here, go down to the end, turn around, drop off, and the Hellfire SMG will be right here. Next weapon is a melee greatsword called the Atom Splitter. Now this one can be found in the Dark Conduit on Nerude, so fire up in adventure mode and look for the Dark Conduit. Now if you're able to get Starshot, then you would already have Dark Conduit unlocked, so you should be good to go here. What you want to do is you want to continue progressing through the dungeon until you reach this point where you can see these arms rotating one of those spinning towers. Now what's going to happen is they're going to pull a section of that tower off. And what you want to do is jump onto that section they pull off, quickly turn around, jump back off of that section onto a collapsed bridge that has a doorway. If you do that, you'll be able to progress through that doorway and then find the Atom Splitter sitting there for easy pickings. One of the most powerful weapons in the game, and it's a secondary weapon, so it only takes handgun ammo, and that's going to be the Enigma. So let's talk about how we can get this thing. So first things first, you can get it as early as the Labyrinth. We want to go to the Fractured Ingress. Once you're at Fractured Ingress, you want to head towards this big portal and you want to hang a left. Once you do that, you want to go through this locked door here in order to reach this portal that changes. Once you reach this portal that changes, you're looking for one in particular. It's going to have this floating platform here, and it's going to have a bunch of lines coming from the outside edge. It comes right after this one. So here, count to 3, jump in, you'll fall, and this path will form underneath you. Once it does, run up. You're gonna have a couple enemies you need to take care of. Once you've taken care of those enemies, the Cipher Rod will be sitting right here. Grab it, take it back to McCabe, and you'll get the Enigma. For our last weapon, we're talking about the Bolt Driver, a powerful handgun that shoots out bursts. This one can be found on Yesha in the Forbidden Grove after defeating the corrupted Ravager, so you have to defeat them first. Once you do, you need to go back to the Water Harp and enter in the following code. Raise the first pin, raise the fourth pin, lower all pins, raise the second pin, raise the fifth pin, lower all pins, raise the third pin, lower all pins. When done correctly, the Water Harp will play a new song and a secret pedestal will rise out of the ground containing the Bolt Driver. If you go back and talk to the flautist, he will give you a mod that you can take back to McCabe and turn in for the Song of Yefir mod. So guys, that wraps up this video on 6 powerful weapons to help you kind of progress through Remnant 2 and make your journey a little bit easier. What are some of your favorite weapons you guys have found so far? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.